don't have to. I'm just doing this because I'm insane. So
I mean, you're not. You just care deeply.
Well, I do, but it's getting to the point where
I guess you can be both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I care, and also why am I doing these things? Yeah. Welcome everybody to season 2. Still in season 2, episode 24 of Millennial Mom Thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And I will pause doing my other project so that I can be fully present and fully focused on this project.
Seems like a good idea. And I will say that I am fully present, but I'm not sure how fully focused
Not super
I am
focused?
this evening.
Okay.
It's a
That's all right.
whirlwind of not even a whirlwind, just like a of a day.
Could you do that again?
Of a day.
That one was a little different than the first one.
Oh, how did I do it the first time? I
don't know now. Now there's been too many. Oh boy.
I'm sorry. What's up? What's up? Hi. Happy
Sunday. Happy
recording day. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I came home not too long ago from my first Sunday student meeting back of the semester. Normally I have 2 on Sundays, but my first Sunday student switched to Friday after school because of a basketball conflict.
Gotcha.
So,
dang. Well, that's dedication. I don't want to do anything on a Friday after school. I don't want to do anything on a Friday, period. But
true. Well, and we'll see how
good on
often.
Them and good on you. Good job.
I always make it available, but I basically never fill my Friday spots, and I'm kind of okay with that. But it is also nice to not have the first Sunday spot, at least for right now. I think he'll go back to Sundays, but because Brian now has 3 hours of back-to-back lessons on Sundays. And that just makes Sundays are long. They're long days.
Yeah.
That's why.
Do you think that someday the dream, Jordan, I don't even know if it's a dream, but opening like the Spicklemeyer tutoring emporium where you've got all the music classes,
percussion lessons, and also how to get organized for school. And
I'll come teach people like how to write or something.
Yeah. If there could be a space that we could put all of Brian's percussion equipment, I would support that.
That would be a lot.
That would not be
in our
house.
Yeah.
Because then we could have our basement back.
And then it could just flood and there just wouldn't be things in it.
It did flood, by the way, on Thursday.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
There was a raindrop in the sky.
It was.
I just assumed.
Downpour.
I know.
It was. Yeah. I was at the library.
When was this? Thursday
night.
What even is?
I'll tell you what was happening on Thursday night.
Thursday. Yes.
that. I haven't checked the
okay.
website. So should I just jump in?
Tell me about all the things. You have so much to catch up on.
That has happened in the past week since we have talked. One of them being why I was at the library on Thursday night. Last week on Thursday morning, I was emailed by a reporter at WEEK asking if I would do an interview about Wait Until 8th because another reporter had seen one of my posts on it was the Peoria Moms group. And she had messaged actually back, it was right after Christmas.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, asking if I'd be interested. And I said, absolutely. And then I didn't hear anything, but I sent her like my phone number and my email, and I didn't know. I was like, I don't know does this mean I go there? Like I've never been interviewed on the news before, so I don't really know the process. And then a different person's name, showed up in my inbox. And so I got back and I said, yep, how about 6:00? And like, do I come to you or can we meet at the Morton Library? And so then a different person that was copied on the email, which was actually the field reporter, maybe is what you call them. I don't know. She set up and said, yep, let's do 6:00. That's fine. I'll meet you there. And so she brought her little wagon of camera equipment and
Mm-hmm.
all the things. And I don't, it seemed like she maybe hadn't been in the Morton Library before, but she said, "Is there a room like we could go into?" And I thought, "Uh-oh, well, I didn't schedule, like, I didn't reserve the boardroom."
Mm-hmm.
And then when I walked in, Alyssa, the director, was, they were preparing, she does a, do you know about like the dyslexia parent
Mm-hmm.
support group that they have there? So that was happening that night. So the front room was taken because they were in there. And then there was a group that was going to be in the boardroom in
Please
like
tell
half
me
an
you went
hour.
in the little back room with all the short baby tables and sat down at
No,
one of
because
the.
pajama story time was
Oh,
happening with Miss Emma at that time. So
oh
thankfully I
my
was able to
goodness.
pop
Library
into
was
the
hopping.
boardroom.
Okay.
It was hopping. Because when I asked like how long, would it take, because there
Mm-hmm.
was a group going in half an hour, she said, "Oh, it won't be half an hour." I was like, "Great."
Gotcha.
So sat at the table, and I got there a little bit early, and I was writing some things down just to have like fresh things on my mind, because I thought you're going to talk fast or you're going to forget stuff.
Mhm.
And spoiler alert, I talked fast and I forgot stuff. Um, and I mean, I felt like it was an okay conversation, but man, there were so many other things that I knew would have been maybe better to say than what I said. But doesn't seem to matter at this point because it hasn't aired. She told me it would air on Friday night at the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock news.
Which is bizarre.
And because it's just repeat, like,
Yeah.
but
But like, why so late?
I,
But also,
I
I understand that that's
Well,
when news
here's what's
airs.
interesting is, so figure skating was on, and was actually, I watched it, I streamed it on their website
Yeah.
because figure skating was on their channel, and so the news was not on at 9 o'clock on TV, but it
Hmm.
was on their website.
Hmm.
And then I watched the whole thing, and weather took a long time. The
Yeah.
weather report took a very, it's like, we don't need to spend this much time on weather. And then once they got to sports, Brian was like, "Well, they end with sports."
Yeah.
And so I thought,
Oh.
"Oh, bummer." Like,
Yeah. That's
what
crushing.
happened? It didn't air.
Yeah.
Now, obviously there is a lot going on right
Right.
now in the
That's what I was
news.
wondering. Yeah.
And so even though they didn't specifically talk, well, they talked about like a peaceful protest that had happened
Mm.
in Peoria, and I think maybe that took its place,
Yeah.
which,
Yeah. I was
yeah,
gonna say, because this, I mean,
I
you're
get
still
it.
a local segment versus national news. Like
Right.
it still makes space for.
So,
So interesting. And
but
have you
she
followed up, or did you hear anything, or are you
no,
going to? I would.
I'm thinking about it. Well, I feel like it will air because
Yeah.
it wasn't just me. It
Right.
was actually alongside a piece of, did I already say this to
I
you?
I read
About,
it. I saw it.
oh,
You
okay.
wrote about
Yeah.
it somewhere. Yeah.
About Washington Library, because
Mhm.
they have this screen freer January going
Mhm.
on. And so, so the reporter said, because there are two similar things happening at
Mhm.
the same time, we thought it would make a good story. I
Yeah.
also learned, and she said, if you, because I asked, because I have something else that might be good for the news. Um, I'll talk about that in a moment. But she said, if you ever have like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon event, like,
Mm.
we are always looking to do news stories about
Cool.
afternoon weekend events.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll show another screening of Can't Look Away on a
Yeah,
Saturday
Saturday
afternoon,
afternoon. There you go.
and jump into my next adventure that has happened since talking to you last week,
Hmm.
um, which I'm debating on posting tonight. I might just do it tomorrow. But it's called Off. I did not come up with this, by the way.
Hmm.
I was in a Zoom meeting this week about a global campaign called Off February. And essentially, it is delete your social media off of your phone. However, with the caveat being, you don't actually have to delete your accounts,
Hmm.
and you don't even have to not use social media during the month of February. Because if you're a business, or, whatever, if that's maybe how you get your news or something, you still need to access it.
Hmm.
But the point is, get it off your phone with the mindless scrolling, and then go to it on like a computer. So it has to become something that you go to, rather than it's just habit. Like, it's modeled after Dry January. That's what I was
Hmm.
trying to say. And Dry January, if you aren't familiar, is like basically a pledge during January to not drink and to maybe reset
to only
after
drink at your computer.
to only
No.
drink at your computer. That's good. Dry January, so
Low
that's what
tech.
off February
Or
is
no, it's
modeled
social
off
media
of.
specific. Is no
Yeah,
social
so
media
delete
on
it
your
off
phone.
your
Okay.
phone. So it's so that you don't have it in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
basically, and it's always following you around. And I thought, well, that's cool. And then I thought they had this planning webinar where they talked about it's one of like the few, if any, things that is free,
Mm-hmm.
non-commercial, and non-partisan. Like, how many things can we say are that?
Where is it
And
for, like, based out of, or who
so it's a
is?
guy in Spain, and I think I hope I remember this right. Diego Hidalgo, I think is the name. And then there was a like a partner group, Americans for Responsible Technology, like the US partner. And I learned about it through someone at Smartphone Free Childhood US, because she shared about it and said there's this Zoom meeting. And so I was available when it happened and I watched it. And I thought, oh, I could do that. Like, I could share about that. A, I'll participate. But B, this might be a good way to share about something that's a little bit broader than the wait until eighth stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or that's specific to schools and kids. And then I started to think, gosh, like, what if an entire town got on board with this? Like, what would that look like if you walked into a place that was people not just scrolling on their phones when you go in somewhere? And so then, because I guess I'm just bold enough now to think that I can do these things, I started emailing businesses myself, just and way too I should have sent you the emails. Oh my gosh, Helen, they're so long. It's way too long. It's way too long. If anyone
I
that
could
I
have
have
guessed that.
emailed from this is listening, you're like, I got this email from this person I did not know, and it was 7 paragraphs
You're
long
just
with like four
you've
links.
got a lot to share
I
and
just
you
feel
want to
like I
make
have
sure
to
you share
explain
it
it so that I
and
I don't I want it to, but then it's like you're gonna skip that. Nobody's gonna read that anyways. So then I made a website to make it way more like succinct and like, here's the website, just do what this says. But I was reaching out to businesses that I have gone to or have some, like connection to, and just said, uh, if you would like to promote this either on your website or social media or newsletter, or, here's a flyer like that you could literally put in your storefront. Here's why I'm sharing about this. And then the first two that I reached out to got back to me and said they'd do it. I was
of
like,
course. Yeah.
oh,
That's
awesome.
great.
Okay. And actually, one of them was the owner of the Main Street Play Cafe.
Cool.
Have you gone over there
Love
yet?
it. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh, yeah. I
fun.
think we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Adorable. Um, and I had just messaged her and I was like, is there a time that I could call you? And then later that evening, she goes, my kids are in bed and you can call me. And so I did. And we talked for like 30 or 40 minutes, and
Wow.
just, she's super nice. And I said, like, we're just friends now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let you know we've just became
Mm-hmm.
friends. But she said basically the reason she started Main Street Play Cafe was to have it was inspired by having a place that was screen free for kids to
Mm-hmm.
play with
Mm-hmm.
imagination and just all these amazing things. And I thought, yep, you get it. She goes, I'm
Mm.
totally on board.
Cool.
And then I made Brian do it through Kidder Music because, kind of married to the manager of Kidder Music. So,
Uh-huh.
but it's also a cool idea. And my
Yeah.
my thought process for contacting businesses was, if it's a way to even promote that business, like to give it's February,
Mm-hmm.
it's cold.
Yeah. It's
I
the
feel like
slowest. Yeah.
it's a slow month for retail and
Mm-hmm.
just all, people aren't going out. And I thought, if there's something that I can help contribute to, support, I can't shop at all the places or go to all the places, but if I can do something to help support local
Mm-hmm.
businesses, then totally on board with that.
Cool.
So I saw it as a way to help do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You reach out to Eli's. I know they have
I haven't yet.
they would be a good one because I feel like
Yeah.
there's some cute little sign they have in one of the rooms about putting down your phone.
Oh, is
So,
there?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
okay.
mean, it's not
Awesome.
like a
Yeah.
phone-free zone, but it's just
No,
a
but just being
aesthetic
aware and
little like
yeah.
put down your phone. Look at the I don't know what it
Yeah.
says. I can't remember, but
Well, 430 Scones was on board after I I
Yeah, how's the
emailed.
scone making
Well,
class?
that was the first time I had been inside. I had had
Oh,
their scones before, which are so delicious, and they have a new one that's like a toffee something, and it
dang.
was really good. I got that one and a chocolate chip one with Lily. We we each had scones while Camden took his class.
Delightful.
But Camden made chocolate chip scones,
Nice.
and they were really good.
I bet.
He loved it. He had so much fun, and he was like very meticulous with the icing, and he got to do sprinkles too. Um,
Not so
but
meticulous.
well, no, he placed
Oh,
them, and it's funny because when we did cookie decorating for Christmas
yeah.
at my cousin's, like that, he had never done that before. I had
Mm.
never done cookie decorating, and he was like very careful. Like
Oh,
he had a plan, and he was
good.
thorough, and so it was really neat to see him. I didn't go back there with
Mhm.
them, but it was neat to see him like follow directions
Yeah.
and get really into something and have fun and laugh with
Mhm.
other kids. It was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Meanwhile, Lily was blowing up for
Oh.
most of it, so we would go in and out of the building
Yeah.
very, very frequently.
Yeah.
But he loved it.
Good.
So yeah, emailed the owner, and she was super nice about it. And I thought if it's a way to, again, promote a place now that I've been and will definitely go back to, then that would be cool. And then I've had a few others, and then I emailed every elected or government leader in our village, including the mayor and the chief
Yeah.
of police, like all of the people that are on the government website.
And how did that go?
And I haven't heard a thing. However, it was
Yeah.
Friday. I sent
Yeah.
it on a Friday because the Zoom meeting was on Tuesday, so all of this was like in the matter of a couple days. But that place Morton
Mm-hmm.
PLACE events. I emailed them,
Nice.
and she got back to me and was like, I don't know that because there's an organized or could be an organized walk day,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I shared with you, since I've never created a walking map for someone
Yeah.
else to use. She said, I don't know that we could get something in place that quickly,
Mm-hmm.
because it's on February 7th, this walk instead of scroll day. Um, but like we could absolutely promote it,
Mm-hmm.
on our social media. So I thought,
Good.
okay, that's something.
Yeah.
Um,
And the on that walk thing, it's 3.13 miles, which
yeah, it
is
was
the average distance scrolled
in a month,
in a month. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the month of February. So yeah, it was. I think it was 590 feet a day or
Wow.
something like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's in kilometers, and then I had to
And
do
how is
the
that measured?
how is it? I don't. I mean,
Like
I guess
who did that math?
I don't know.
Like how
Somebody.
I'm fascinated by that statistic,
Yeah,
and I
I
just want
would
to
have.
know more about the methodology.
I did not deep dive onto the
Yeah.
off February website, but
I clearly did not either, but I did see
um,
that and got
yeah.
curious.
So there's, I'm sure, a link to like here are all our resources, and
Hmm.
I did not click that, but I thought that's a long trip to be scrolling with your finger day after day after day. And I thought, yeah, well, I like to take walks. I'm basically that route that I shared with you. I was
Hmm.
like, well,
It's
that's
like
just
you're,
what I walk.
yeah, for sure.
So I'm already used to that. But because I didn't want to get in trouble
Hmm.
and create an organized event without permission or permits or
Permit,
the proper
yeah.
things, because you need to have those, I did not say this is the route and this is the
Mm.
time, which I originally had on there. It was here is a suggested route and
Mm.
go anytime that you like, or
Gotcha.
go anywhere.
Hmm.
Walk 3 miles or
I
less or
see.
more. Do whatever. Just go
Can I
walk.
run it?
Yeah,
No, you
totally.
must walk.
No, yeah. You must slow it down and walk. All that to say, um, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. Yeah, you're doing a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
news, new initiative,
New
new
initiative,
book
being on the
club.
news, and book club. That was the first thing I wanted to ask about is how that went.
You know what? It was so good.
That's
It
fantastic.
was really good. Two people that signed up both
Hmm.
came.
Good.
Um, and the one who didn't get a chance to read it yet, just because it didn't, she did the interlibrary loan,
Hmm.
it hadn't showed up yet, was she has read other Jean
Hmm.
Twenge books.
Oh,
She read the
good.
iGen
Good.
book.
Yeah.
Um, and had really liked that. And then the other gal, so I have a Jefferson mom and a Letty Brown mom. And the Jefferson mom said how she read the part, one of the rules that talked about no screens of any kind in the
Mm.
bedroom. And because of what she read with the research and all the information about that, she decided to take, her kids had TVs in their rooms.
Mm.
She's like, we made a plan to take TVs out of their rooms. She's like,
Great.
I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's amazing. That's
Hmm.
so, like, just that one little thing. And so it was just a really good, it went really fast.
Hmm.
I also did not realize that the Google Meet limit for the free account is
Mm.
exactly 1 hour,
1 hour.
but it
Yeah.
does give you a little like a timer notification
Yeah.
thing, like
Yeah.
your 10 minutes are
Uh-huh.
approaching. And so yeah, we met for the hour and it was
Great.
super cool. And at first it was like, hey, none of us know each other and
Mm.
welcome to this conversation.
But
But then
there's
it just got
no better
started
way to
and
connect than through books.
I know. And it's a really easy read.
Mm.
Like it makes sense, but what I love about it is the research that backs it up,
Mm.
that's in there. All these statistics, like this is why you should do this. I'm not just saying this because I
Hmm.
think this way. Here's what actually is out there as far as
Hmm.
research that's been done. And so we got through rules 1 through 3, and it was really good. And I'm
Great.
excited for tomorrow night.
Yeah, and that's right. You said you're doing it
Yeah.
weekly. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
each Monday night. Four Mondays.
Good, good.
So you won't be, if you hear this, you won't be able to join for tomorrow night, but you could join for the last two. It is open. All sessions are open and available. So
Hooray.
super
Yeah,
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Well, starting tomorrow, my Monday, I won't have my Monday night class, but I'll be doing
Oh
my
yeah.
Monday, Wednesday mornings.
Yes.
So new semester starts this week for me, and I'm very excited. That's been most of my last week when I have a chance is doing my just course prep.
I bet.
Like I've said, I inherited a lot for this class from a professor who's taught it in the past, but still,
Yeah.
and just the way I am, like I want
You
to
want to
come
make it
into
your
it
own and really know it.
fully prepared, having a sense of things, working on all my little policies and whatnot, which
Oh,
I love the
yes.
planning part. I love I'm a planner, so I enjoy this stage of things, but I'm of course feeling a little bit of the night before school
Mm-hmm.
heebie-jeebies,
Mm-hmm.
or night before the first night of school, first day of school, whatever I'm trying to say.
Do
Clearly
you know
I'm
how many are enrolled in the
28.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it
Yeah.
caps at 28 and I have a full
Full
28
class.
students.
And is this a
Um,
multi-year level, or is it all freshmen or
it's
all?
a gen ed, but it looks like
Okay.
they're mostly freshmen, a handful of sophomores.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The one thing I did not do last week that I said I would was take a visit out to campus just to look at the classroom and get a sense of what room I'm in. And then I was like,
You've been there.
it's not gonna, the room, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing though. All the rooms in this building there's very different possibilities. So
Oh,
when I got into
okay.
my room last semester, I was like, whoa, it was in a basement, but it had all this tech, but it was like a shared wall and it was all dry erase. It was just like it was an
Okay.
interesting setup that I was not
It'll
prepared
be a
for.
surprise
But
for
that'll
you.
be a surprise tomorrow. Are we in a circle? Are we in rows? Are there computers in the room? You never.
Is it stadium seating?
Oh my God,
No.
yeah. My 28-person lecture
Right.
hall will be great.
Yeah.
No, but I'm very excited for that. We're kicking things off by talking about the purpose of education, which is obviously a huge question. And I'm going
Yeah.
to do a little reflective activity. You know, the classic, like making a little name tag to have on your desk for the first couple of weeks. We're going to do
Yeah.
that. But on the back, I've got a few questions that they'll answer over the next couple of weeks, about like the purpose of education, why they care about education, stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
and it's gonna, multi-function as it. That's where they'll write, but then it'll be their little name tag, and then I'm gonna collect them and just hang on to them until the end of the semester.
Oh,
Because spoiler alert for anyone listening out there, the final exam has some reflection questions, so then they can
yeah.
kind of look back at, okay, here's what I said 18 weeks ago. What do what
What do you know now?
Yeah, what do I know now? What do I still believe and what maybe has changed? So excited to kick that off tomorrow. And then otherwise, I went on some adventures with Violet last week. whatever reason, I was just feeling very antsy to get out and about. And so we went to the zoo.
Oh,
I
did
don't know if you know
you?
this or not, but Peoria Zoo during the month of January is donation month,
Oh,
meaning
no,
that
I
it's
didn't.
free admission or make a donation if you want, which
Okay.
is really neat. And then once I got in, I realized like, oh, this is why, because most of the
Nothing's
animals
out.
were, yeah,
They
like,
don't feel right charging
yeah,
because
no,
there
it's
are
a very
no
smart
animals.
because it's still, it was one of those days
Yeah,
where
it's
it was
open.
nice enough to be out in a coat and pushing her
Sure.
around in the stroller. So really, it's just a different place to walk around. And we
Right.
did get to see the giraffes through the windows when they were eating
Okay.
some lunch, and we saw a swan. That was loved watching Violet, and Violet loved watching it. And
It
we
had just wandered
a
onto the
handful of other
property. It
things. There
wasn't
was
part of
a
the.
new baby what?
I said it had just wandered onto the property. It
Yes,
wasn't
yeah,
part
no.
of the.
No, it was in the Australian walkabout, and we
I have
couldn't walk about,
never
but
gone in there. It
oh
has
my
always
gosh.
been closed
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time we've
yeah.
gone.
Believe it
I
or
want to
not, it
see
was
what's in
closed
there.
this past Tuesday. Oh yeah, that's the thing though. There's swans, there's wallabies, there's other Australian things. I don't actually know a lot about it.
Kangaroos?
Yeah, I think
Is
so.
there a
I think
kangaroo?
they're
A joey? A baby joey?
And there
I
was
don't
a
know what accent that
baby,
was.
not monkey or some type of monkey. What was it? It had a specific name. But the mother
Lemur.
was very protective of this monkey. So they had like an
Oh,
extra barrier. And even if
yeah.
you got close to that fence, mom would like
She's
come
gonna
up
get you.
and
Yeah, well, protective.
yeah, absolutely. And then we did the Peoria Playhouse. That was the first time I had
Love it.
gone out there. Yes, very
Oh, that was
fun.
your first time going?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I guess I
And so
didn't
I
think
didn't know
about
what to
that.
expect for a baby, but we played in
Finish
all the
with the
little
water.
padded zones. You know what? We finished by looking at the water
There
and
you
me
go.
deciding, nah.
Yeah. Unless you have a change of clothes for the ride
Exactly.
home,
I was like, it's
don't
still
do the
January.
water.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't do the water. We tried the kinetic sand,
Oh, yeah.
which was her
Camden's
first time
favorite
doing
spot.
sand, and she definitely tried to eat it. So that was
Well,
a
she's not the first and
short-lived
won't be the
adventure.
last.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I figured it's like this is for kids. It's probably like fine to ingest, but also,
Eh, not
eh.
not
Isn't it
ideal.
also like made of what is kinetic sand? What makes
Nobody
it?
knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Not even Mr. Kinetic.
Not even the founder, Mr. Kinetic. Did
Hmm.
you walk on the little rainbow piano that,
You know
lights
what?
up
I
as you walk
did.
through
I
it?
did because I
Yeah.
kept hearing that and I didn't know where
Yeah.
it was coming from. And then finally I was like, oh, we gotta go
Yeah.
do that. Do, do, do. But it was also a Wednesday afternoon and it was back to school. So it was pretty dead in there. And
Yeah.
that's like right next
That's
to
when
where
it's
the
nice.
employees just sit around. So I was like,
Yes.
well, I feel weird. Me just running back and forth across this
Oh,
piano. I
they've
know.
zoned it
I
out. They
know.
don't even hear it
It's
anymore. You couldn't.
no, yeah, yeah. But
It's a
but yeah,
cute
it was
place.
fun. We
Super
had a
cute.
good time.
Did you milk
And
the cow?
I milked the cow. Yes. She sat on my lap while I milked the cow.
I don't go back in
Um,
that area anymore. I'm like, we don't need to milk the cow.
oh,
More water,
yeah.
more splashing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True, true.
Super cute place.
Super cute, super fun. Yeah, that's all. That's about it. I guess we
You'll have to get a membership because we have a membership, and so we
yes.
go.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think at 1 year old is that worth it? Like would she get enough out of it that we would go enough to, or should I wait
I
another
think
year or so
I
until
mean,
she's
I my information is skewed because the first year of Camden's life was COVID.
right?
So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't really go a lot of places. But I
yeah.
did take
Hmm.
Lily once, she was. So I've had a membership. I think this is our second year with it. And
Hmm.
Lily's too. So
That's true.
I used to
Okay.
bring her along as a baby.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
carry her in the little carrier. So because
Yeah,
they don't
that's
allow
neat that they don't
strollers.
allow strollers, but they rent baby Bjorns.
Yes.
That's great. I did see that.
Yes. So they
Yeah,
have
and I'm
that.
thinking more about that, especially, I know that I'll say this 1,000 times and then people will still buy Violet toys for her birthday because people love buying toys and we love
Sure.
toys and it's all good. But it's like, with a birthday that close after Christmas, like she's got lots of toys and things like
I
experience
hear that.
gifts would be, yeah, right, exactly. He's
Camden's February birthday.
February 1st.
Yeah,
So I
it's
love
coming up.
an experience gift, a membership or a gift card, or, that kind of thing
Totally.
is,
Yeah,
I
Brian's
would say
family
it's
has done
priceless,
that
but
for
obviously
us.
they have a
Right.
very clear price price tag on them.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable though.
Mm-hmm.
I that's why we did it again. And then this year when it expires, I think ours expires in March or April. That was a Christmas gift from
Mm,
Brian's parents. Is then they
gotcha.
got us another year membership, which was
Nice.
very
That
nice.
is very nice. Yeah, love that.
Oh, well, I'm glad you
Getting
went.
out and about. I know,
We'll
and
go
it's
again. I'll
yeah, yeah. We'll have
on
to
a
meet
school
up
day
there.
when
Mm-hmm.
Camden's. Then it's just Lily can
Just the little
run
girls. Oh,
around
they can
and
go
the
to
girls can
Toddler
play.
Town or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And
Lily tries to
fun.
hoard the baby dolls, so heads up. She wants the. She does that at a library too. She's like, "These are my
I
babies.
love that.
Who are you? Give me my
Uh-huh.
baby." It's like the kid had held it before she even got there. No, no, that's my
That's
baby.
mine. I know that kid. I know
Yeah,
that baby. That's
we're gonna
fine.
have to work on some things, but
Oh, that's
um,
great. But yeah, that's
yeah,
us getting out and about,
adventures.
doing things. I feel like I had some sort of connecting point to something you were saying,
That's
but
okay.
I may or may not have been interrupted by a crying baby there.
May or may
But
not. We
yeah,
fast forwarded
you'll
through it.
I know.
Nobody even knows it
Our
happened.
listeners will never know. I know, but I feel like I should explain my like bleariness and
No, it
that at least puts
happens.
context to my huh?
Yeah. Well, should we
But
jump into the meat of the episode, if you
yeah,
will?
yeah. As long as you have time, it's getting late on, I
No,
know
we
our
can.
usual recording
That's all
time,
right.
but
That's all
you
right.
okay.
We set out and I won't go over all, I made I made a Facebook history lesson.
Hmm.
The short version is that we all probably know this, but Mark Zuckerberg made it in his dorm room at Harvard. Um, and if you've seen the Social Network movie,
Actually haven't.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've always
Also,
heard that.
Justin Timberlake is
Yeah.
in it, so
Yeah.
duh, gonna watch that. And who knows how much is kind of the dramatized
Mm.
version, but um, he was a guy with his buddies in his dorm room, and then he hacked the Harvard. It was called like the Facebook
Hmm.
for I think for all the fraternities and sororities. It was
Hmm.
an online directory, but it wasn't publicly accessible. But when you're a guy that knows how to hack into stuff, then you can do that. And he essentially made a hot or not website with all
Hmm.
the people on that of Harvard, which was shut down. So if that gives you a little insight into the origins of what Facebook was really for, it was just to like judge people on their hotness in college. Um, then it started in 2004, February of 2004. I got mine it was either September, I think it was October. I couldn't see the exact date of 2004. So several months after they launched it, to college campuses only, and you had to have a .edu email address to sign up. So it was like this kind of exclusive thing. There were no pictures other than your profile picture. You could not post pictures. That wasn't the point. It was literally just like the wall. It was
Hmm.
called the wall.
That's
Um,
right.
and what's funny is, so I think I said last time I went back and
Hmm.
did like a deep dive into my
I
Facebook.
did too. I'm excited to share.
Yeah. And the first post, now it's not me making it because you didn't post on your own wall. This is
Hmm.
what keeps me up at night now is wondering like what did I write
Hmm.
on other people's
Hmm.
Facebooks
Hmm.
that I am not friends with that I cannot go search and like scroll back to our beginning history. You used to be able to hit that button that says see friendship. Do you remember that
Yeah.
button? I don't think it's there anymore.
Mm.
And so you could like at least go and see the specific things that you and that particular person had posted on each other's Facebooks. But the first post is tagged as, and it's still a friend of mine. We've been friends since junior high, but she didn't write it. So the original Facebook wall, like you could edit someone else's post. Did you know
What?
that?
No.
Yeah.
What do you
So
mean?
I remember that somebody wrote and like accidentally deleted what the previous person had written. And so like the first few posts are off. It's like that person wrote the thing before it, but it's tagged now with their name. I don't understand. It was clearly a glitch because
Hmm.
you wouldn't want somebody being able
Yeah.
to edit someone else's like thing. But I specifically remember being like, she didn't write that,
Huh.
and then there was no way to
Yeah.
change it. So the first post I
Interesting.
have is actually not written by the person that wrote it. Um, man, and just I think, that I couldn't remember if it was MySpace or Facebook, and then I was reminded that it was Facebook. Like that's how I met my college boyfriend, was through Facebook. So talk about
Wow.
I know we're going to talk about online dating
Yeah.
in a little while, but in a few episodes. But that was really I guess, my first experience with online dating. And because you knew it was another person that was on campus, because you
Mm-hmm.
had to have that college email address. So there was some kind of like, not safety, maybe a little bit like, oh, that's a person that goes here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not some weird.
Verification
Yeah,
to
like
an
it still
extent.
could be a weirdo. It
Yeah.
kind of turned out to be that way, but no. um, but it was through a poke.
hmm
You remember the poke
Oh, I
feature? Although I
remember.
think they brought it back,
They did.
because I
Yeah,
think you
I
can
think
still
they do
poke
still
now.
exist. Yeah.
But that is the origin of at least my early days of Facebook. It was just like your name. You could add, I think, some kind of little quote about you or
hmm
something, just like very basic details. And then the most important piece was like single in a
hmm
relationship.
It's complicated.
Well, I don't think that one was there yet.
Oh.
It didn't start out that way. Um, I know somewhere on an old hard drive I have a screenshot of like my first Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I would love I would love to see back when it was the Facebook
hmm
what that looked like. But it just wasn't, it wasn't used like it certainly
Right.
is
Yeah.
now. Like I still used AOL Instant Messenger
hmm
to put where I was and like, hey, come find me here. We're gonna go out and do this. And
hmm
then, text me. If that was even really, I feel like I don't even remember texting that much,
Yeah.
but I must have. Um,
Can
yeah.
I share my, so I
Yes, I
did,
was gonna
I
say,
told you I
please.
love the episodes where I feel prepared, like I've done some research and all that.
Yeah.
And so I did my little me search here into my Facebook history. And I think I shared last week that I remember kind of dabbling in Facebook, like had
hmm
created account but didn't add any friends for a
On
while. So I would
the
like
band trip
on
on
the,
the bus.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I would just kind of see what other people were doing. But turns out, despite doing that,
On your
I
first
like my
post.
early posts show that I was just my own little brand of weirdness. And
Motion
so, yeah,
activated.
so my first post is of my homecoming pictures from
Okay.
my freshman homecoming was one of two dances that I attended in high school. I went to freshman homecoming and senior prom.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um,
Nothing in between.
Nothing in between. No one ever asked me, Jordan. And my freshman homecoming was with just a group of girly friends.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? We
Well,
went to
homecoming
see,
is like friends. It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah. And we
you're
did go to
dating.
senior homecoming as well.
Oh, okay.
When I was dating my first boyfriend, my senior year of high school.
There you go.
So we did, I would say senior homecoming was the one fun one of the three dances I attended. But anyway, up for that freshman homecoming, went with a group of other freshman girls, and just looking at those pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, I look
Yeah.
like such a child. But like I'll see pictures from me later in high school, and I'm like, oh, I was really good at makeup. Like I really knew how to do my hair and makeup when I was 17 years old. But man, how old are you freshman year? Like 14,
14.
15? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I look like a
You
14-year
look
old.
14.
Adorable. And also just so much weirdness because, we had like your classic group pictures, but then I also had friends take pictures of me in the bathroom using a motion activated paper towel dispenser because I heart motion activated paper towel
Of
dispensers
course you
is what
do.
I
Of
wanted to
course you
tell
do.
the world with my very first post. So I
Wow.
guess by the time I was on Facebook, that, making
Yeah.
albums was by then a thing.
Yes, it was.
And then the first post on my wall was from a friend saying, wow, that is really funny that we got it on the same day. Haha, I guess great minds think alike. So I'm assuming
What
I
did
had
you
written
get?
Facebook, I'm
Oh,
guessing.
oh,
I,
oh,
I
that
think
you
I must
got
have written on
Facebook.
her page, OMG, you're on Facebook. Blah, blah,
Got it.
blah.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm not going to actually read you through all of my
Oh, yeah, I
statuses.
see
Maybe
that.
I will.
Okay.
Maybe I will. Because as you probably remember, statuses used to say like Helen Plevka is da
Is.
da 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 da.
Yep.
Helen Plevka
Yep.
is da 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 da. But then they changed it. Like once they took away the is, it was
Uh-huh.
still kind of like the norm to include an is. I feel
Uh-huh.
like you just kept doing it. So mine were like, is doing homework, is psyched for Saturday. Saturday was band competition. I remember that, but I was psyched for Saturday.
Doing
Is
laundry.
doing laundry, is playing Sega.
Oh.
Got a new phone today. And that
Oh.
one did make me pause because I was like, okay, this was December 20th, 2008. Was that my first? I don't think it was a smartphone
I don't
still.
think it was.
No.
No.
Did I not get a smartphone until college, Jordan?
I feel like you've maybe said it, but
I know.
the smartphone, like, wasn't the iPhone released in '09?
Yeah, but I didn't have an iPhone for a while. I had
Oh.
other things.
Was there, but there wasn't a smartphone before. Like, the iPhone was like the thing that kicked it off.
Oh.
And then Android, right? Isn't that
No,
right?
I mean I had an
And then
Android phone
Androids
before I had
had,
an iPhone, but I'm not saying that I had that
yeah.
before iPhone was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Now
yeah,
we need to know the
don't
history
know.
of
But anyway,
smartphones.
because I had a track phone in junior high.
Yeah.
Maybe I had a second phone before then. This may have been my third one. I really don't know. Um, what does this say? This isn't even a typo of my made up word, but my next post was that I was Christmasing.
Mm.
And then I had is pooped. Helen Plevka is pooped. I believe that was after
Well,
Christmas.
at least it
Um,
wasn't did poop
did
or
that's true. Knowing
as
me, that may
pooped.
have been. I think that's a line I've generally drawn in my life, even though I
Thank you for not sharing that publicly with the
yeah.
world.
Well, and
Yeah.
here
Some people
that
do.
reminds
Some people
me
do.
as well that a rule I had with myself for the longest time, just like a personal unstated rule, was that if I were like texting someone, I wouldn't text them from the bathroom. Like I might take my phone into the
Interesting.
bathroom, but I'm not going to continue that conversation because I wouldn't have that conversation while pooping in real life. How weird is
Draw the
that? But
line.
this was a true like thought process I had. So
Okay.
like if I
Okay.
were, for example, talking to a boy, I was like, but I'm not gonna
Oh,
talk to them in the
while using
bathroom.
the restroom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well,
So I
you
will
drew a
play
line.
Snake.
Yeah.
I'll play Snake and Pong, whatever the
Oh
Pong
my
equivalent
gosh.
was. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to share on the podcast as well, because as I have made very clear, I love my own birthday. And this
Yes.
was evident in my first birthday on Facebook because I
Hmm.
had a series of statuses that were 8 days until my birthday,
Hmm.
7 days until my
I
birthday,
know I'm reading
6 days until my birthday, 5 days until my birthday. I don't know how to read those differently.
So
One
many
time there was a bunch of
Y's.
A's, the next time there's a bunch of
Yeah.
Y's, so on and
E's.
so on and so on. My
Yeah.
birthday is tomorrow. And then I got to, it's my
It's my
birthday,
birthday.
period. And
Well,
I think that was pre-office. It is your birthday. I
it is
think
your birthday.
I think that's why I love The Office so much, is because that's just my brand of humor. But what also cracked me up is that on said birthday, four whole friends
But
posted
that's
on my
because
wall.
people
But
probably said it to you in person or maybe sent
no,
it
I just
through a
didn't have that many
text.
friends.
Well, but
It's
Facebook
100% because I
wasn't.
didn't have, well, I mean, I didn't have
Oh.
a lot of Facebook friends. Not everyone was on
Oh,
there
okay.
yet.
Okay. Okay.
Um, okay, and then I cut myself off. Oh no, I did include the screenshot. Because I would just say,
Oh gosh,
I
I
will
remember
not read
these.
this,
Yeah.
but I will say most of my early Facebook use was notes.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
those.
yeah, and it would
Yeah.
often be
Or the lists
like
of
a
here's
chainmail
your
kind of
thing.
thing,
Yep. Yeah.
where this one, for example, was tell us 16 things about yourself and then tag 16 people. My
Yeah.
number one was that I was too lazy to tag anyone, but
Yep.
I still then go
Still
on
do
to
it.
tell
No, people like to
16
fill those
things about
out.
myself. Yeah,
I
I
remember
loved
doing it.
those. Or there were like surveys, questionnaires.
And then I
There
read
were
you shouldn't fill those out because they're like a data hacker's dream because you're putting super personal
makes
information about
sense.
yourself and then they can like
Yeah.
hack your password because it's like here's my birthday, here's the street I grew up
Mhm.
on, here's my mother's maiden name. Like
Well, here's what I was telling the data hackers. Number 16, I am going to make such a great old lady. I cannot wait.
she said thinking that 40 was old.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm just kidding.
76, man. That's going to be my prime.
Oh,
I've
that's your
always
old
known
lady?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, but lots of, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't take Facebook seriously for a very long
Yeah.
time. It was just kind of, I'm here to be
It was just a
sarcastic
thing.
and weird and also creep on people. Creeping, that was a big part
Oh
of the
yeah.
vocabulary for quite a while.
Yeah.
Um, and was definitely something that I partook in. Lots of creeping, lots of messaging.
Yep. Yep.
Once, because over time, yeah, I feel like through high school we shifted from AIM to Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought I had, I don't know that I put that in there like when Facebook Messenger became a thing because that wasn't
yeah.
originally
And maybe it wasn't even called that at first. I feel like it
part of
was
it.
just, I don't
Yeah,
know.
they
Uh,
acquired, in the
mm-hmm.
Facebook history
Yeah.
lesson, they acquired several things like
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and WhatsApp, and
Mm-hmm.
in 2009 the like button was added,
Mm-hmm.
so that changed
When did the
things.
dislike button come in?
It wasn't too long after that, I feel like, because
I feel
that
like it was
was
a while, but maybe it was just,
was
it
it?
felt like a big thing
Oh,
at the
yeah.
time.
Well, I
Um,
very vividly remember signing a petition
mm-hmm.
when they brought in newsfeed,
Mm-hmm.
because it used to like you had to go to your friends, you had to go individually to your
Mm-hmm.
friends' pages to like read the updates,
Yeah.
which was actually kind of fun from
Yeah.
what I remember. And then they rolled out newsfeed and people were mad,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like, put it back, bring it, get rid of this, we hate it. Well, now that's just what it is. And it's because they were probably employing uh, brain scientists and psychologists.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how can we make this more and more addictive? Well, here's how. Um, yeah, I went back. I tried to look at a few of my early things as well. And apparently, and I vaguely remember this, in October of 2005, I met Dierks Bentley. Do you know who Dierks Bentley is?
Who's Dirk Bentley?
He's a
That's a
country
name. Oh,
singer.
okay.
I am not a country music listener.
But you
So,
are a Dirk stan.
well, I went to the picture jogged my memory, a concert with my one of my friends that lived in the she we weren't roommates then, but we were roommates later. We went to a Dierks Bentley concert.
There you go. And you got to meet him.
We got to meet him. Don't have a picture of it because that just wasn't, we did things without taking photo evidence on our phones because our phones didn't have cameras. Um, yeah, random things. There were things called bumper stickers. Does that predate you? Maybe, I
It
don't know.
must. Yeah, I don't remember
There
that.
was a whole. I didn't see any of them, but I feel like it was like a literal cork board that there were like these add-ons that you could like
Hmm.
add different, almost like apps basically, but
Mm-hmm.
in within Facebook, and bumper stickers I guess was one of them. And I vaguely remember that, but people were writing on my wall about that was a like hilarious bumper sticker you sent me or something. Like, okay, whatever that means. Something in college. And then I looked at Instagram very, very
Mm-hmm.
briefly. My first post on Instagram was August 1st, 2011, and it is a filtered, styled picture of me holding a book open, no caption.
Ooh,
So
how
very edgy,
mysterious.
clearly. Yeah,
Well,
August
yeah.
2011, I was in grad school, so
Yep.
I was
That,
doing a lot of reading.
yeah. Well, that's what I can't go back and see my first Instagram post because I did have to make a new one, also in grad
Mm.
school.
Mm.
But I had it as early as like I remember posting my freshman year of undergrad, because I distinctly remember posting a picture of my cat and
There
then
you
one
go.
of my friends from home. So like my sorry, I'm telling this story horribly. Um
Picture of a cat.
I'm jumping back in time. I had to get a new Instagram because mine was hacked, and like boob
Oh,
lady showed up everywhere, and
wow.
then there, yeah, so it was
Yikes.
hacked. So I had to shut that down, make a new one, which also started with a picture of me and my cat Oscar, who
Okay.
is my cat. But one of the posts I remember making early on with my original Instagram was of my parents' cat Allegra.
Hmm.
And then one of my friends from home saw that picture of Allegra, meaning that, oh, Helen's home, but got mad because I didn't tell
Oh,
her I was going to be in
how
Morton.
dare you?
Which is, but
That's
that's
part
the
of
like
it.
the eyes of
Yep.
social media, right? It is
Yep.
uh,
You,
the
you,
whereabouts and the
Well, now it just puts
Other
you on a map
social
if you have
pressures.
that
Now you're
enabled.
literally on a map.
It's
Yeah.
like,
She could have
hey,
just
they're
traced
over
me and been
across the
like,
street.
hey, you're on the interstate. I see you're coming.
Yeah, if you take
Yeah,
nothing
for
else
sure.
away
The
from this episode,
geotagging. Yeah.
turn that off. Turn
Yeah.
that feature off.
But
Yeah.
how does your, what I'm curious to hear is how you would say your social media use has changed fast forwarding to today. Do you
A
use it in
lot.
similar or different ways?
Totally different ways. I mean, like I said last episode, I was 18 years old when I got Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And in March, I turned 40. So that is more than half of my life has been documented in some way
Mm-hmm.
on this thing that I don't own or control, or
Mm-hmm.
like I said, could just disappear. I mean, it won't, but could disappear tomorrow, and all
Okay.
of this stuff that is tied to me would just be gone. And so I think the way I used it, in some ways there are some similar things. Once they
Mm-hmm.
introduced photo albums, like I would post way, way, way more photos. I would fill the album limit.
Mm-hmm.
I think at first it was like 20 photos was the limit. And so you'd make
It's
like
not that
six
today.
albums
Yeah.
from,
Yes.
you know,
Part
one
one,
night
part
out,
two. Uh-huh.
you know? And so, and I did. And I do, and it was all on a digital camera though. So nothing was, unless I went home
Mhm.
right after the party and,
Yeah.
you know, uploaded
Yeah.
the stuff,
It was not
like
immediate.
it was not
And
an
there was a
immediate
joy that was
thing.
part of the like looking at your pictures and
Exactly.
maybe selecting which ones to put on there or maybe just putting them all up.
Yeah. Some were
Um,
filtered, some
mhm.
definitely weren't, but
Mhm. But that and adding your captions and
oh
tagging your
yeah,
friends and all that,
adding,
like
oh,
that
ridiculous
was part of the
captions.
experience for sure.
Well, now, I mean, it's been several years, but some of those albums still live on my Facebook, but they're all
Hmm.
locked as private. Like
Mm.
nobody could go see them.
Aw.
At least the locking
Mine
mechanism.
are still open. Come on, come enjoy them,
No.
world. Because here's the thing that
Mm-hmm.
I also remember, maybe I've shared this before, maybe not, but one of my final teacher ed classes in undergrad, like before we were going out to do clinicals and like go out in the world, the professor wanted to emphasize the importance of like locking down your social media, being
Mm-hmm.
very mindful and filtered about what's on there. And she said that she went through everyone in class and spent no more than 60 seconds like searching our names and
Okay.
putting up whatever she came up with, and there's like incriminating photos of every single person in the class except for Helen Plevka. And here's Helen on her study abroad trip, standing outside of a
Right.
castle.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, all my stuff is harmless. Like
Yeah.
I'm
No, mine
I'm an
not.
embarrassing person to myself, but
Yeah. There
I've
were, I
never
mean, there
done
were
anything
definite,
to be.
there were definite, you know,
Yeah,
party
yeah.
pictures
Yep.
in many of my albums. I think I locked them down, one because of that, but also because there are comments, like it's
Mm.
just too much to go through, and I posted a lot of pictures. There are just comments that I know are not appropriate,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
um just I'll just leave it at that. They're just not appropriate. And
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
things that I wouldn't say, or that
Hmm.
other people have written
Hmm.
on them that would be said. I
Hmm.
think the other piece that I wanted to examine, I don't know that I'll really get into all of maybe that could be a follow up, is the harms, the
Hmm.
known harms that I've since learned about Meta now,
Hmm.
you know, former Facebook, now Meta, because they're Instagram and Facebook and a whole bunch of other things like WhatsApp, and
Hmm.
um is just the thought of like, when do you, it didn't feel weird in college to do this, where you would add a friend on, you
Hmm.
know, request someone to be your friend that maybe you had literally just met at
Hmm.
some whatever, you don't know this person, but it's like, oh, I saw you, add you as you
Hmm.
add you as a friend. But now, as like when I was first working in schools, you know, in 2011, when I got my first job at a high school, I had a different name. I put a different name on my profile in grad school.
Hmm.
Now that was also because I was studying to be a therapist, and so I
Hmm.
didn't want like clients looking me up. So I used my pets' names. Um, yeah, I think I was Riley Tiggy or Jordy Tiggy for a while or something like that.
That's very cute.
Um, and then I switched. But I never I had a rule. It was, no student could
Hmm.
friend me, and no parent of a student could friend me while they were a student.
Hmm.
Um, and it only happened a couple of times where somebody, when I was working at Chittard, would friend request me, that was like a current parent. And there's always that kind of almost gray area if it's a parent that also works at the school, that
Hmm.
has a kid at the school. That
Yeah,
was kind of the
that's
fuzzy
complicated. Yeah.
fuzzy zone, but never a student. That was a solid rule that I mean, I still have now. I suppose if a
Yeah.
student, although I've had former students request to add me, and it's like
You don't add former students. Yeah, I
there's
do, but
yeah
I don't really
there's not
use
a
my stuff, so
reason
there's nothing.
to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I was maybe more. I posted more than I do now.
Hmm.
Um, anyways, but I think the piece that I was thinking through was about the friendship stuff. I
Hmm.
put in heavy quotes, friendship, Facebook friendships, and then the idea of like when you delete people
Hmm.
off your friends
Never.
list. You've never
I've
see
never done.
Brian's the same way.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't delete anybody.
Mm-mm.
I do, and it's not like a revenge, angry thing, but I will occasionally, it's been a little while, but I'll occasionally go and look at my friends list and think, am I ever going to talk to you again? Like,
I
what
mean, I
is.
look at mine and I go, "Who are you?" Oh well. Do
See?
do do do.
And people approach it in different ways, and
Hmm.
I think I just I was like, well, maybe it's more like you're not interested, like we don't know each other. You're not
Hmm.
interested in what I'm sharing. But then I started, and maybe this is revealing too much, but instead of deleting someone, it's like, well, the stuff that I post publicly is stuff that's posted publicly for a reason, because then I know that anybody could see it. And usually it's stuff now about wait until 8th or smartphone stuff. Um, but there's an option. Do you know this? There's an option to move someone to a friends list that's called like restricted. Do you know that this
No, I
exists?
don't know anything about this.
Yeah. So they can see any of your public
Hmm.
posts. Because then I started to feel bad if somebody would friend request me now in my adult phase of life. That it's like, well, I don't know you, and I don't know why you're requesting me as a friend. We don't talk,
Hmm.
but maybe it's somebody that's a parent or like a community member or just whatever.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, I can create that now as like a connection. I think of it almost more like
Hmm.
LinkedIn. Like you can be a connection, but you're not seeing like my story. I put stuff on my
Yeah, I see.
stories,
I
and
see
so
what
you're,
you're
you're
saying.
not seeing
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
stories that are quote unquote private. I know they're not private because a rule that my parents taught me when I was very early or very young was if you put it in writing, someone can see it,
It's true.
whether you think it's private or not.
Hmm. Except
So
for all of my journals in the closet, right? No one's ever going to see those. Just kidding. I'm
maybe, maybe
terrified. I
not.
don't want to think about it.
Oh my gosh. The stuff that I have written in journals from, yikes,
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Last night. I know. Same. Um,
Yeah.
what did I
So,
want to say? I think we will kind of have to part two a lot of
yeah,
stuff on this
yeah,
episode or just continue this
yeah,
conversation
some other
next week.
time.
Because one other thing I'm thinking a lot about in this realm of like the different ways in which people use social media, because just as our own habits have changed
Right.
over time, right? There are also ways that other people use social media that aren't the ways that I use it. Like, and that varies by age and that varies by
Oh, yeah.
community.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing I want to just throw out there today, and maybe we come back to this too, is thinking about like how it is a privilege to be able to do something like a February off month and to like
Yeah.
choose to disengage or to
Yeah.
choose to be more intentional, because I'm thinking about all the ways that social media is used for social activism or community
Totally.
connection and things like that. I'm thinking about
Well, that's
whenever
what I like. I like the
that it's
clarification
not a
that you
hundred
can
per
still
yes, you can
use it.
still use it.
It's more the
Yes.
deleting off of the
Yes.
phone, which
Yeah.
leads to that kind of addictive
Mm-hmm.
use, or
Mm-hmm.
people that want to take a step back and just don't know how. It's like
Mm-hmm.
here's a reason
Here's
to
what,
do it.
yes. No,
But
and
you're
I
right.
100% support, like, this
Yeah.
is a thing that I think the vast majority of people in our community would
Sure.
hugely benefit from. But I also see, and like the queer community as well, as a space where like the internet is often a space for connection
Right.
in ways that they are denied in their own schools or communities and things like that.
Yeah, it gets
Um,
complicated.
it is complicated, yeah, and I think that's is just the overall idea is that the way you might use social media may not be exactly what
Exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
obviously the screen never looks the same as anyone else's feed or whatever.
Exactly.
So when you're like, "Oh, you saw that video too?" It's like, "What video are you talking about?" No, I did
Right.
not see this random
Yeah.
news post from Arkansas that was probably AI generated, you know.
Right. Right. Oh my
There's
gosh,
that
have you heard?
aspect of it, but also just that like our overall approaches may be different. And then that brings me back to the conversation too about we need to understand how children and or hopefully
Yeah.
more teens, but adolescents are using social media because their engagement is very different than my freshman self being like, here's my homecoming pictures. There's some
Well,
of
and you
that,
know
but it's
what?
also
If it
so
was only
filtered and so,
that, it
yeah, yeah,
wouldn't be as terrible.
yeah.
The problem I have, and when I talk about off February for thinking of like adults, I mean,
Hmm.
sure, I would love for teens and kids if they are using social
Hmm.
media to do this too. But like, it's a different choice when
Hmm.
you're an adult, and it's a different
Hmm.
experience when you're an adult, and it's the social media companies that are intentionally
Hmm.
inflicting harm on minors, and they
Hmm.
know about it and they're not doing anything to fix it, and then they're
Hmm.
advertising as these things are
Hmm.
safe and putting
Hmm.
out these press releases that we've changed safety, and it's like it's a bunch of crap. And there's evidence. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to start talking about the lawsuits and the trials that
Hmm.
are. I think that starts January 27th.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
very invested in hearing about all the things that come out in Discovery, and like that'll,
Hmm.
spoiler alert, that's going to be a big part of what I talk about in the future. But as those things are coming out, but yeah, just you're
Yeah.
there are positives
There
to
are,
using
yes.
social
Yeah.
media, and I completely acknowledge it. That's why I'm not anti
Hmm.
technology. I just wish that they were the things that they advertise themselves to be, a place for
Hmm.
connection and sharing, and
Hmm.
then not the algorithm takes you down
Right.
this really
Yeah.
dark path and feeds you intentionally dark
Hmm.
things to keep you hooked longer.
Hmm.
So I would
Hmm.
love if there was a truly social media that
Right.
provided a space that's,
Well, all media is
safe and
social, but that's
inclusive, and
semantics.
yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. And
So it's
it's
just interesting to
complicated.
look
It's
back at
it's
something that
yeah.
didn't start as what it
Hmm.
is now. And I mean,
And
money
even
got involved, so
yeah, yeah. And I think just doing that like personal audit as well of
yeah,
like looking back at like, oh, I don't engage with this thing in the same way I used to, or
yeah.
just
Oh, why did
like
I post that?
that kind of it makes you more mindful perhaps of
Yes. Yeah,
what you aren't doing now.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, yeah.
So, well, I
So
did
anyway,
not
we'll
get
continue
to the
this.
yeah, the other piece of this, but still go and check out, and we
Mm,
will link it in the show
hmm.
notes, the two-part series that Scrolling to Death did called The Heat is on Meta. Um, it was eye-opening, not surprising, but also eye-opening, and
Hmm.
I just appreciated the amount of research and facts and things that were
Hmm.
presented. It's not just, again, it's not just someone's opinion. It's like,
Yeah.
here are
Yeah.
the internal documents from Facebook, and or here's this Facebook whistleblower that shared about XYZ, and or Meta. So I
Hmm.
know I'm gonna keep saying Facebook, but Meta. So,
Yeah.
anyways, big week
Well,
ahead.
big week ahead. Yeah.
I'm sure I
Why?
will.
Because of school? Because of you? What do you
Uh,
have big?
yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, soccer's back,
Hmm.
book club, all all my students
Oh,
are
oh, you just mean
back.
all the gajillion things you're already doing. You have to do them again this upcoming week. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
is a
didn't
big
have as
week.
many students last week as
Okay,
now
I see.
this week, because
I
it was the
gotcha.
first.
You're fully in the swing of
It's
things.
I'm
Yeah.
fully, yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a new
All
student
right.
starting tomorrow, so
Woohoo. They
that'll be
are a
exciting.
lucky, lucky student.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Get outside, touch that grass, get some fresh air, get off your screens.
Brian Spiegelmeyer does our podcast music, aka Mr. Spiegelmeyer Throwback. Jordan Spiegelmeyer, you may know her as Jordan Tiggy. She does our social media. I'm Helen Plevka-Jones. I love hand motion sensor activated.
And your birthday.
And my birthday, yes. Paper towels and my birthday. These are two of my favorite things. They made a song about it. And I do the audio editing, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip.